Hey you guys, like, comment, and share because YouTube did not like my last video. So please get us back on the algorithm. So much thanks. Thank you guys. Enjoy the video and make sure to show this to everyone you know so that everyone knows what's going on. Everyone needs to know this stuff. All right, see you guys next time. Bye.
John D. Rockefeller, that's what he was all about. He's the richest man in the world, was raised by a psychopath. John D. Rockefeller's dad was named, they called him Devil Bill. His dad, they know all about his dad. This is not a conspiracy theory. Their family, the historians will tell you about his father. He created him. He was a rapist, snake oil salesman, running from the law, changed his name.
Devil Bill?
Devil Bill, that was his name. So he had a bunch of sons, and John D. Rockefeller was one. And he was known, he was quoted as saying, "I cheat my sons every day. I want them as sharp as can be." He just beat the living fucking trust out of them and just drowned all their trust. So John D. Rockefeller grew up not trusting anybody. Dude, he got busted for monopolizing oil. They finally indicted him. He had to break apart Standard Oil, and it made him a billionaire. That's what made him rich, is when he got busted. When he had to sell everything off, he took over education. Dude, you know how he took over universities? Dude, he wanted to take over the world. He wasn't just trying to sell gas. He was trying to take over the world. Our education system is all based on Rockefeller Foundation shit. Like, what? He strategically wanted to make school so that we got people just smart enough. This isn't conspiracy theory. Just smart enough to work. They didn't want anybody too smart. That's how the school systems were designed.
I'm scared for Miley Cyrus because the biggest conspiracy theory about her right now is that she's trapped in a cult. Yes, a cult. Did you notice she dropped the biggest song of the year, then disappeared? Did practically zero promotion for her album. Completely moved on to a new song, and the only promo she did for that was in a soundstage with her team, and the tweets were saying, "I love that Miley's new cult is letting her do promo for her new single." Turns out it's because Miley has allegedly joined the cult, the Modern Mystery School, and has been hanging out with people from this school, along with the leader, Gundani Gundison, which sounds like some Sesame Street made-up name. To get an idea of the Modern Mystery School, they're a cult that vigorously heals your past trauma to make you the most enlightened, best version of yourself. And on the cover of their website, it says, "You are not perfect the way you are." She's been seen and posting, hanging out with Lily and Blue, two light workers and healers from this cult since February 2023, and she's been seen chugging down Manipulation Station to their little cult gatherings. We know this is for the cult because on the website it always says know thyself. People think what this cult does is break you down completely to build you up into who they want to be. A lot of past members say that they experienced really horrible trauma, physical, financial, and sexual exploitation. He instills major fear about impending doom or personal safety onto his members to keep them in line. Miley even said she never wants to tour again, and one of her reasons was because of the feeling of her personal safety being in jeopardy. Miley's fans fear she's susceptible because she definitely has trauma to exploit in recent times, saying that she's working through the trauma of being harshly judged in her 20s, and the major trauma going on right now with her famous split family. Before I say the craziest part, make sure you follow so you finally know the craziest conspiracy theories about all your favorite celebrities and request who you want to see next. Fans also think she's susceptible because she got involved with a cult figure after the Bangers era, Wayne Coyne. They did a lot of strange things together.
He's 100% woke.
They supposed to be putting medicine in America to help motherfuckers feel better and help you live better. But these motherfuckers don't give a fuck about the medicine. They out making their motherfucking money.
When these rappers get killed, not incidental. Somebody made $100 million and now don't have to talk to that artist or none of their crew. Don't have to validate none of their contracts. Now only got to deal with the mama. Only got to see her once a year, and it's over. We found out that all conspiracy theories, there's a nugget of truth in there.
Anytime people that tell the truth is attacked, that's called the Dark Ages.
In our industry, who pays you is who tells you what narrative you're allowed to use.
Do you have any idea who shot Suge?
I'm pretty sure Suge knows who shot Suge. But if the police say nobody shot him, I believe nobody shot him. And if nobody shot him, that's the same nobody that shot Tupac. And if nobody shot Tupac, it's the same nobody that shot MLK. And if nobody shot him, that's the same person that shot Malcolm X too. It's a lot of nobodies out there, and nobody minds if nobody comes up missing, right? That don't bother nobody, does it?
They be having these big-ass mansion parties, and the mansion party, the whole mansion is a party, and then it's a separate party in the little rooms. You be looking in all the goddamn rooms, and you around and look in the wrong room and shit.
If you know, you know.
Let's talk about the Nephilim. What they are, where they come from, and are they still walking among us today?
let's find out. Starting with the King James Version of Genesis 6. Now it's all here for you guys to see, but I'm just going to briefly summarize. The fallen angels took to liking the daughters of men, and they ended up taking them for wives and procreating with them, creating Nephilim. So a Nephilim is a mixture between a human being and a fallen angel. And then moving down into Genesis 6:4, it talks about how there were giants on the earth in those days and afterwards, meaning that these beings are still here today. Giants are still walking among us today, but not just giants. Can you think about some other cryptid creatures around the world that could be Nephilim too? Like Bigfoot, werewolves, sirens, fairies, elves, you name it? Yeah, those are Nephilim too. Now let's go to Matthew chapter 24. This is in the context of Jesus describing to the disciples when he will return, and how nobody knows the day or the hour that Jesus will come back, but we do know that things will be just like they were in the time of Noah. So those alien sightings that you're seeing, strange things in the sky that are appearing, prophecy being fulfilled, that happened in the days of Noah, and it's starting to happen now. So if you think that's crazy, look at what the Bible says about the flat earth.
So this is an old mirror that I upcycled, and I swear that sometimes you can see stuff in the background of the mirror that isn't actually there in real life. So I'm just gonna do a couple back and forths, but I'm curious to see if anyone sees anything that maybe I didn't catch. So here we go, here's the mirror. Okay, so that's the background. And once again, my apartment. All right, comment if you see anything that's out of place. Wait, did you hear that?
This is the ultimate conspiracy theory, according to Joe Rogan.
If you're a conspiracy theorist,
yeah,
this is the real conspiracy. The conspiracy is have as many social problems as possible that people get distracted by, that people concentrate on, whether it's a pandemic, whether it's masks, vaccines, pride, trans movement, sponsor drag shows for kids if you want people to get mad and want people to get distracted.
Right.
Sponsor
Let them
that.
focus on that.
Get people to think that it's a good idea to do that and watch the outrage. You know, get people to think that the oceans are going to be boiling in 5 years. You know,
right.
Get people to think that if we don't change, like that was one of the things that Greta Thunberg said 5 years ago, that we'll all be dead.
In 5 years?
Well, it's 5 years later, and we're not all dead. So you definitely are wrong, and you're 16. So why are they flying you out to Ukraine? Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
So there's so many of these fucking social distractions that are in our face all day long about everything. And I feel like sometimes that's what I feel like about Supreme Court rulings. We're going to take away Roe v. Wade, and everybody's like, what the fuck? What?
Yeah.
What? And that's another one.
Yeah.
And then that one becomes a thing that people identify as the most important problem that they have to solve. And while all this is going on, money's getting moved around, decisions are getting made.
Yeah.
And it's a brilliant cover for wild shit.
Yeah, because all you have to do ever really is follow the money on anything.
Yeah.
And you see what's actually happening, and everything else is a distraction to that.
So if you're feeling played right now, you should be, because division is the ultimate tactic. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to give me a follow if you like the content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Have you heard of this story of Father Crespi? If not, he's the reason why I no longer believe our rendition of history. So if you've never heard of Father Crespi, it's actually a mysterious and controversial story that involves unknown civilizations, golden artifacts, and the Vatican. Some of these strange figures actually connected America to Samaria. Now, Father Crespi was a monk who was born in Italy. Prior to committing himself to the priesthood, he actually studied anthropology at the University of Milan. He was then assigned by the Vatican to a small Andean city in Ecuador. Father Crespi committed himself to poverty and not only helped Ecuadorians, but the native tribes. Over time, he gained their trust and love, and he acquired over more than 50,000 objects. And the Vatican gave him permission to start housing that collection in a museum they gave him. But mysteriously, a fire broke out in 1962 after Father Crespi passed away. And while some of the artifacts live in Ecuador still, there are missing precious artifacts from the 1970s that consisted of gold carvings, hieroglyphs, and Sumerian figures. And thankfully, all of this was documented by Father Crespi on video in the 1970s. I mean, we know for a fact this one's just chilling at the Vatican. But not only that, if you look at the bottom one, the pyramid with the cats, like this reminds me of Egypt and the Sphinx. Not only that, look at that, and then look at our dollar bill. It reminds me of the same pyramid. Even Eric von Däniken spoke about this in his book. I mean, I feel like this runs deep because like some of the artifacts actually prove that there's giants and that our history is not what we think. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Like and follow for more.
Oh my God, really? Oh my gosh.
This picture is going viral, where these are the same pictures of Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania. They're going viral now because they're claiming it's a body double and it's not the same person. And here also, this picture on the right is posted from his X account yesterday, and this picture on the left from another person where he lacks mustache. A lot of theories are circulating the internet, and that the government has replaced him, claiming his tattoos are gone. This picture has gone viral showing his tattoos are allegedly gone, but it was taken from this video. Watch.
He has formally launched an impeachment or has said he's going to...
Oh my God, really? Oh my God, really? Oh my.
And you can clearly see the tattoos are indeed on his arms. It's just taken from a different angle. Now many people are comparing these two images of him and saying this is not the same person, because he looks different. But some experts claim that the difference is because of camera focal length. But what do you think about this? Does he look different to you?
Yeah, Mason Bible. Totally demonic. Well, for Masonic use, so they've got alternate definitions of words. But what really shocked me the first time I picked this up, sun god, Ra, Amen, the Father of gods, the Creator, published in the Freemason Bible, which, as near as I can tell, it's a King James version. People like Jordan Maxwell and the woman who made Ring of Power, they try and mix up language and they say, oh, well, when you say Amen at the end of a prayer, you're really, this is who you're saying your prayer to, Amen Ra. Well, that's a lie. No, Amen is Hebrew for so be it.
Remember one of Jim's first forays into serious dramatic acting, the number 23, the 23 Enigma.
The Titanic sank on the morning of April 15th, 1912. That's 4151912. 23. The Hiroshima bomb was dropped at 8:15. 8 plus 15 is 23. The Mayans said the end of the world would come in 2012. 20 plus 1 plus 2 equals 23.
Jim Carrey claims to have been obsessed with the 23 Enigma long before being cast in the movie, as his production company is called JC23 Entertainment, and his father played the saxophone and worked as an accountant just like one of his characters in the movie. In The Number 23, Carrey plays Walter Sparrow, a family man whose life begins a downward spiral when his wife gives him a copy of The Number 23. A novel that contains a character named Fingerling, also played by Carrey, who is consumed by the 23 Enigma. When Walter receives the Number 23 book from his wife, he immediately envisions himself as the protagonist. Actor Charles Rocket was cast on Saturday Night Live for the 1980-81 season, beating out a young Jim Carrey for the role. Years later, in 1994, Rocket was cast as the conniving villain in Dumb and Dumber, one of 3 movies that released in that one year that propelled Carrey to absolute superstardom. Take a look at this moment from the film.
So what happened? So the guy tricks some sucker into picking up his tab and gets away with it scot-free?
No. In the movie, they catch up to him half-mile down the road and slit his throat.
It was a good one.
It's important to point out that this line is not in the script, and Jeff Daniels' reaction appears to be genuine shock. Years later, Charles Rocket walked out into a field on his property in Connecticut and took his own life in a gruesome way by slitting his own throat. One of several deaths that were ruled as self-inflicted that were actually the work of Carrie. During another scene in Dumb and Dumber, the characters are seen crying while watching a sentimental Pacific Bell commercial, wiping their tears with money. The young boy in the commercial is actor Jonathan Brandis, who also unfortunately committed suicide on November 12, 2003. 11/12/2003. 23:23. Tragically, in 2015, Carrie's girlfriend passed away and the death was ruled as a suicide. The coroner ruled that the young woman died of a lethal overdose of multiple narcotic prescription medications. Carrie's girlfriend was married but separated, and after her passing, a lawsuit by her estranged widower revealed that the medications were prescribed to Carrie under the false name Arthur King, which he then allegedly provided to her. Carrie denied any wrongdoing, and in 2016 the wrongful death lawsuit was thrown out, but the whole thing obviously plays into the theory. Go ahead. Tell yourself it's just a number.
Have you heard of this conspiracy theory? It's the Majestic 12 conspiracy theory. So Harry S. Truman and NASA Director James Webb, apparently part of a secret government agency. According to William L. Moore, a UFO scientist, Majestic 12 was a codename for a secret government department that was supposed to deal with extraterrestrial beings. Supposedly the Illuminati is part of another secret organization, but that's for another video. And this is all in the 1950s era. Documents revealed how they recovered alien technology and exploited it. But the concept of Majestic 12 really emerged in the 1980s. The UFO scientists believed there had been a cover-up of the Roswell UFO incident. And of course some speculated about the existence of aliens. But let me know in the comments what you think. Follow for more, and as always, y'all be safe out there.
This man traveled 800 years into the future. In 1943, the Philadelphia experiment was conducted by the Navy to make a warship invisible using Einstein's unified field theory. Well, you see, instead of cloaking the USS Eldridge, the experiment sent the ship and its crew forward in time. This is all according to surviving crew member Al Bielek. While the ship started phasing out of our time, Bielek, along with his brother Duncan, who was also stationed on the Eldridge, jumped overboard to safety. However, instead of finding themselves in their own time, they had been transported to the year 2137, where they were found and treated for radiation burns in a hospital. Bielek warned that an impending climate catastrophe would alter the geography of the world, and that the USA and Canada were no more in the wake of a Third World War, and the population had been reduced to 300 million. He was again sent further into the future, without his brother this time, to 2749, where he lived for 2 years. As it turns out, war was a thing of the past in this future world, and people lived in mobile floating cities, and instead of a government running things, everything was controlled by a super intelligent AI. And just as mysteriously as he went to the future, Bielek was pulled back to his original time, where he eventually worked on the Montauk Project. And although he came out publicly with his story, the government disavowed him, which has made many people wonder if,
look what we're saying, these pyramids right here in Nevada. Look at this, it's a cover up. It is a cover up, bro. Look, this pyramids right here in Nevada. I'm telling you, bro, it's a cover up. This land, bro, our people, bro, they don't want us to know who we is. They don't want us to know where we come from. They don't want us to know our heritage because it connects us to our land rights. You can destroy graves, you can destroy land titles and names, but you cannot erase these pyramids. They stand forever. The question will have to be asked, how did they get here?